Chairman Przansky and distinguished committee members, my name is Randy Ellison, and I'm president of OASIS, the Oregon Abuse Advocates and Survivors in Service. I'm also a survivor of child sex abuse. I reside in Ashland, Oregon. I'm here to speak in support of all 5 of these bills dealing in sex trafficking. This is a term that up until a very short time ago we only heard described by UN officials referring to third world countries. Following an expose in the New York Times, it all of a sudden came very close to home. Portland, Oregon was the scene and was described as the city with the 2nd largest population of sex slaves in the United States. These are not women brought in from third world countries. Sadly, they're our underage children. Studies indicate that 90% of teenage prostitutes were sexually abused as children earlier in their life. They end up leaving home and becoming part of an invisible culture, one that most of us barely even know exists, but it does. The pain and the suffering that these children live with every minute, day and night, should move us to run for help or at least call 911 to get them to safety. Unfortunately, there is not a safe place for these kids. If they come to the attention of law enforcement, they are generally treated as criminals instead of the victims that they really are. This group of bills allow law enforcement to deal severely with people who pay money to have sex with children, and you cannot say you didn't realize how young they were. Senate bill, I realize this is just on 425, but one of them even sets up a grant that helps stop this type of activity by putting adequate police and investigators on the streets. It would also allow grants for treatment programs to help these victims heal. It is unfunded at this point, but passing it makes a statement that this is a priority, and as soon as we can find the money, we'll put it into action. It is indeed what we should expect of ourselves as a civilized society. In November, I was invited to Chicago to be part of 200 male survivors on the Oprah show. Like most Americans, I pictured myself sitting in that chair across from Oprah telling my story. I ended up sitting in row 3, and like most of the people there, only spoke to those around me during the breaks. When I thought about it afterwards, I realized that I'd played a huge part. I was present to hold a place for those who were suffering and help create a safe place for a few to share their pain. By passing these bills, you will not be sitting in that chair across from Oprah, but you will be opening a door for children that have been put out in the cold and are being tortured on the streets in Oregon. I beg you to help stop this shameful for-profit business at the expense of our children's lives. Thank you.
Greg.